the double header, Brazil and Abu Dhabi, for the finale of this season. As I have said yesterday, I was fairly confident on being able to do a double header today, and it has lined up to be able to. This will last for around 2 hours, so strap yourselves in, because this is going to be not painful, it wouldn't be the word I would use, but certainly long in terms of time just sitting around. Both races are going to be 50% races to make sure that we can get them both in the time, and yeah, like I said yesterday, this is just as a help for you guys. I've just seen the race is heavy rain conditions the entire race, so another race where we're gonna have to have our concentration to the maximum. The only race that hasn't been wet recently was, well, I mean, we've had 3 on the bounce now, I think, that hadn't rained, but before that we also had 3 out of the 4 races before were all wet races, and I would imagine with the conditions, I don't think Abu Dhabi is going to be a wet race, so at least we'll have a dry race today. However, we're also going to have an extremely wet race here in Brazil. I did think if any track was going to be a wet race, it probably would be this track. Just the nature of it, really. But like I say, it's going to put concentration to the maximum, really, because it's hard enough at this circuit. But when you're trying to worry about not losing it in the corners or whatever, do this again, because it's been a poor lap so far. Didn't help by braking a bit too late into turn 1, and that just kind of led into a poor rally down into that first corner. It's much better lining the car up beautifully through there. We actually set the fastest middle sector there, and we temporarily take the lead out of one of the final corners, but then we just drop it in a straight line. 8th.
We're very happy with that position. Well done.
To be fair, I'm impressed with that.
And with qualifying complete, Let's review our top three today. Russell, Leclerc and Daniel Ricciardo.
4/10 ahead of our teammate.
We now have our grid lineup
And George
for the big
Russell
race
has a
tomorrow.
pole position
Be sure to
for
join us
once.
then for what will no doubt be a
And Romain
fantastic race.
Grosjean's beaten Kevin Magnussen for the first time in ever. And he actually has a chance at winning this race, Romain Grosjean. Although saying that, Magnussen won the race from like 8th on the grid yesterday.
Good day today.
So
What's your take on it? Are you happy with where you'll be on the grid tomorrow? You didn't practice much this weekend. Are you saving your car?
we know what the weather's going to be bringing
Appreciate your time.
for the race, so it's going to be quite enthralling to see actually what happens, because this car in wet conditions hasn't been great, I have to admit. Although saying that, Singapore we were excellent in wet conditions, but Singapore there's no straights, it's quite a lot of corners. This track, unfortunately, apart from that middle sector where there's a few tight, slow corners,
All right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be with a good chance in the race.
it's difficult to now I was promising a 2-hour session, but because it's raining in the Brazilian Grand Prix and we don't know what it's going to do in Abu Dhabi, it probably won't rain. Look how heavy that
Where
is.
there's a will, well, there's a way. And nowhere has that fact been better demonstrated over the years than here at Interlagos. Remember Senna winning while fighting a gearbox that was jammed in 6th? 5 Drivers' Championship deciders in a row between 2005 and 2009. And of course, the passionate Brazilian fans packing the grandstands to capacity.
I can't
every
guarantee
year.
that this is going to be
And
2
not about to
hours
stop
now.
now.
I think this is
Interlagos, always a very special
maybe
race
looking
here in
more at
Brazil.
2 hours
It's a
15, maybe 2 hours
2.7 mile
20.
circuit with 9 lefts and 6 rights for a total of 15 corners. But it's a wet one today, so grip and visibility will be at a premium. The drivers will need to be careful coming up the hill in Sector 3, the scene of many an accident over the years.
Oh
Off the
yeah,
back
well
of
we
a
all remember
fantastic
seeing Sebastian Vettel spin it in 2012, coming up the hill.
Okay, the run into turn
Surprisingly,
1 isn't too long,
intermediates,
so the pack
I thought
will
it
be
would have
bunched
been
up.
the wet
Take care.
tyres, but no grid penalties for this race, as 5 lights are on and it's lights out here in Brazil. It's a fairly good start for us. Magnussen does jump us on the outside line, and we get tapped round by Raikkonen. Far from ideal start. Oh, there's just no grip at all. It's already worrying that I broke incredibly early into that corner. Can we make a move on Magnussen here? Late lunge down to the inside. We make the move on Magnussen. Now Vettel's the next car. Down the inside of Sebastian, that's a lovely move. Up into P7. Seb is going to have another look at us though. Shunts us a little bit. They'll come again. Vettel. There's yellow flags in front.
Okay,
Or is it
clear.
behind? I don't really know. There's yellow flag. It's behind. It's Lucas Weber. Out of this race.
Heavy rain to stay a while.
Why can't I
Doesn't
hear
look
my
like it's
engineer?
moving anytime soon. It's hard to say if inters or wets are better right now.
That's going to become annoying. We've cleared Vettel, thankfully, in the infield section, so... we're just going to have to go off our own view, I guess. That's Magnussen who's overtaken Vettel and now on the back of us. Bit wide there. This is horrific conditions. Good news is we seem to get the exit out that final corner, which means that any chance that Magnussen has of really gaining on us, although this time he's certainly gaining on us. Here comes Kevin. Going to go to the outside into turn one. We go slightly deep, meaning that Magnussen will have another look, but just go aggressive on the curbing to stop any attack coming from Kevin Magnussen.
Yellow flag.
There's another yellow flag now, and one of the Williams is out of Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton is out
Green
of
flag.
the Brazilian Grand Prix, and there goes his championship. So Devon Butler will be world champion. That is pretty much now confirmed, unless he bottles it, which I think Hamilton can then just about win it, because I think it'd be 23 points. We're now starting to make some inroads on Ricciardo though, so that's... especially in that middle sector, we've taken about a second out of him this lap. Just proves you don't need the straight line speed to catch up, but Magnussen's proving that my theory wrong here by sending one to the outside of us into turn one. Lock up the brakes, and Magnussen's are going to come alongside our car a bit more this time. There's a bit of contact. Raikkonen overtakes Magnussen, and here comes Raikkonen. Just squeeze him towards the... Gonna let Raikkonen through. For now. We might send one down into... No, that's really backfired. I thought the gap was there, but yeah, it's clearly wasn't. So we'll just play it safe, hold the position. Making any inroads to make a move into the final corner? No, not really. Then Raikkonen just gets the power down out of the final corner and just really bolts it. We're just going to have to hold our... Magnussen goes to the outside. We hold. Actually starting to gain back on Raikkonen. And that's the advantage of that middle sector. Been a fairly good lap from us. Devon Butler's in the 20s now, so that's... We're going to be low 22s.
3.1 seconds.
As Magnussen sends another move down into turn 1. That's why we need to sort this straight line speed we have out, because everywhere else on the circuit we're holding our position well. Magnussen's going to go oh, that was contact. Magnussen hits us. He's going to do a switchback move, but backfires. This is really starting to heat up between us three, Magnussen, Verstappen and I. Good news is that second sector seems to be saving us. Butler sets a 20.8. Now we're having to go. Oh, he spun us. Round we go. Magnussen has absolutely ruined everybody's race there. And don't know what he's doing. Just watch it on board from Verstappen. Just sends us round. Verstappen ends up almost finishing, and then there's... Yeah, I am. What's that? I'm okay at the minute. So who else hit me then? Doesn't look like Norris did. Did the Ferrari? No, it's in front of the Ferrari. It's Bottas who Bottas hit Vettel, so Vettel hit me. Who else? So it would have been, was it Sebastian? Yeah. Anyway, let's try and sort this out as best as we can without getting taken out this time. To move to the outside because Magnussen's just going to barge his way through. That's much better. That's worked out much better. I mean, Magnussen shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have sent one to the inside. And here comes Verstappen out of nowhere. Verstappen trying to make the move on Magnussen.
Gap to the car in front is 2.9 seconds.
And Verstappen makes it. Verstappen goes to the outside into turn 1. We actually brake quite early just to make sure that we avoid any lockups. Verstappen to the inside, it might have Magnussen come in as well here. But we just hold the position. Brake a bit later than Verstappen and we hit at the quarter of the way through the race. This is a long race actually, this one in Brazil. I mean, the rain won't be helping, but Verstappen is coming.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
That's Magnussen that's actually gone for the move.
Okay, gap ahead is 5.0 seconds.
Here comes Magnussen again to the outside this time. We defend it. Oh, I've covered the inside. What are you doing?
Gap to car in front is 6.0 seconds. Gap to teammate behind is 4.3 seconds. These conditions don't look like they're shifting. We're predicting at least 20 minutes of heavy rainfall. The gap to the car ahead is 8.5 seconds.
Oh, you are someone else, Magnussen. Give it a rest. I broke early and allowed you to have space, and you still slam into the side of me. I need to get clear of these guys, so
Understood.
I'm in a
Stopping
box.
this lap.
does mean we'll have to do 20 laps on these tyres, but to be honest, they probably can take it.
Complete, go now. Only one stop to go. One stop left in this strategy.
Oh, Hamilton isn't out, by the way. He's battling his way back through the field. Brings us out in a bit of clean air. Will hinder us later in the race, but hopefully if we build a gap now, you never know, the weather might get better or might get worse and you might have to pit again. That's a purple middle sector. That shows exactly what we've gained out of it.
Our gap to the car in front is 2.0 seconds.
We catch Lewis Hamilton, Pierre Gasly and Robert Kubica.
To teammate ahead is 12.0 seconds.
I mean, knobheads. Braking so early. What a knob. What a knob. Seriously, Gasly, if you're going to brake that early, don't be on the racetrack. Oh, for Pete's sake. That was a little bit worse, actually, if anything. Oh, for God's sake. sent one on Robert Kubica from miles back.
Verstappen is stopping
Please,
now.
no, you are kidding. Verstappen's jumped us by the... Oh, now he's got a problem. Oh,
Okay,
what a
clear.
shame. Magnussen's also jumped us, but...
Valtteri's in
in.
for his stop.
Into is a Renault. Vettel.
Heavy rain will be staying with us for a while now, at least a 20-minute window of heavy rain.
Magnussen's just set the fastest lap of the race. That's why we weren't actually gaining a lot of time on him. So Magnussen's really gone for it on that lap.
Okay, gap ahead is 5.2 seconds.
Wonder whether he'll catch the two Alfa Romeos of Raikkonen and
A new
Ricciardo.
strategy is available on the MFD. Copy that.
Magnussen's has gone faster again. He's ridiculous. He's probably going about a second and a half faster than me at that. Mainly on those straights, I think. He'll be catching those Alfa Romeos in no time, I would imagine. Thank you to my one viewer. Please make sure you subscribe. This is a double header as it says in the title, and please stick along to at least watch the end of this race. It's been a
Gap to car in front
topsy-turvy one,
is
that's for sure.
6.8 seconds.
Magnussen is ridiculous. Fastest again.
We're a +1 lap of extra fuel. Fuel target +1.
Might have to look behind instead of in front because Sergio Perez is now catching in the Ferrari. Magnussen is just getting faster and faster.
We're leading our teammate by 7.8 seconds. The gap to the car ahead is 14.7 seconds.
Here comes Checo then. That Ferrari is one of the cars that are starting to improve. And cross the line, it's going to be a personal bet. Oh no, it's not.
Okay, the car behind is catching you by 0.5 a lap. 0.5.
Wow, Callum.
Our tyre data is looking positive so far. We think there's plenty of life left in these for the moment.
Magnussen is on fire. I've no idea what he's had in this second stint, but our car needs a bit of that.
The radar suggests that this heavy rain will be with us for a while now. Our gap to the car in front is 17.8 seconds. There's 5 laps of fuel remaining. The car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap.
Pitting early has really cost us in this race because now the tyres are so worn.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. Okay, gap ahead is 22.2 seconds.
There's some more yellow flags. There's Ferrari going slow, so that'll be Lance Stroll. We've just set a purple middle sector. I've no idea where that's just come from. Across the line, that's quite a bit of an improvement. This lap won't be. That was a poor turn one, which has really just cost us the entire lap.
Gap to car in front is 23.8 seconds. There's only one lap of fuel remaining.
George Russell wins here, and I believe Devon Butler has been crowned the world champion as well. So Magnussen is just ridiculous. How does he find that much pace?
We're not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap
We're going to have a
over
battle up to the
target.
line with Perez. We've gone
Mix too
wide.
soon.
No, I'm going to replay that. That was awful. That was really poor entrance and exit. As we come up towards the line, then it's going to be close between us and Checo. Hold the door, and it's P8.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
It's certainly been an incredible year for Formula One, and our drivers have all pushed themselves this season, making it one of the most compelling years of racing in history. There can only be one champion, however, and here they are now, our new Formula One World Drivers' Champion. Toro Rosso will no doubt be celebrating tonight.
Poor weekend for Mercedes overall, compared to the dizzying heights of a few weeks ago in Singapore.
And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. We also crown a new champion today, as their lead at the top is now an insurmountable one. What a great year it's been.
Magnussen is now
let's discuss, Ant,
joint
who would
on
you say
points.
is a contender for driver of the day?
I think for driver of the day, I'd probably pick Lando Norris. He lived up to
We're
every
4
inch of his
points behind
reputation today,
Vettel,
and I
so
think he'll be
the
going
gap
home
between
quite
us and
rightly a bit
Sebastian
proud.
is closing. The gap between us and Magnussen is coming closer and closer, and that's going to be a great little battle between us three
Amazing performance
going
out
into
there.
Abu Dhabi,
I'm sure you're pretty happy
with
with
4
that.
points separating 3 of us. So
You really looked in control of your car out there. Your team must be thrilled. Your former teammate had a rough time out there and wasn't able to finish. How do you feel the weather affected the outcome today? Appreciate your time.
And now, as I have said many a time, we now go into the second one of the double header, which does seem nice to say. And I wish we could do more of these, but just with difficulty in terms of my my lifestyle and things. But with this lockdown, more opportunities have become available to do these nice
Excellent result today.
these nice
Finishes like
treats, I
that will look good on your
suppose.
contract reviews. On to the next one.
So we are going to just purchase this last remaining... Or do we... No, we can't get that yet. How many points are we off that? Oh, we're quite away. Okay, we will just purchase this last remaining one, and then we'll go in to start the durability one. So we'll get as many of those durability ones as possible, but at least we've got the powertrain ones sorted now. So that does mean our car is going to be much better in terms of power for next season. And we can then go back to focusing on other areas of the car that need a bit more development, such as the aerodynamics. Hopefully, like I say, that this race won't be a wet race. And if you're happy with this and you want to see me play some FIFA or something later on, I don't know what the idea is with that, but if that's wanted, then just leave a comment and I'll do another upload later on. There certainly will be one tomorrow. What time, I'm not really sure, so that's kind of hard to say. And in this video as well, I will leave the kind of preparing for next season stuff in. So in terms of, well, I imagine I will be staying with Mercedes. The confidence level at the team have just been sky high since I've joined, really, and it has been a refreshing outfit. The good news is this race doesn't have any rain, which is kind of what I would have expected. Out of the two races today, Abu Dhabi would have always been the one that would not have rained. It is cloudy, it is overcast, but thankfully no rain. Oh, hello, it's Andrew who's watching. Yeah, I'm doing good, mate. Hope you're enjoying this. This is fun. How are we doing in terms of parts? Let's just turn to the components we haven't used. Seeing as it's the last race of the season, we might as well. That's a very nice first sector from us. This sector, unfortunately, we will drop off the pace because the guys around us have much better straight line speed. There goes George Russell. But the final sector, we might have a chance at catching these guys back up again. be one of the best qualifying performances of the season. It's P3.
Excellent lap. We're really pleased.
What a lap that was. That couldn't have been hooked up any more
With qualifying
than
finished,
that.
it's time to remind ourselves
And
of our top three.
literally
Russell,
matched
Hamilton,
Lewis
and
Hamilton
Rookie.
in
Goodbye for
second
now
as
then,
well,
but
so
we're really just getting started. Make sure to
very
join us
good
again
news to
for
see.
Lights Out tomorrow.
And who knows, I mean, it is a Brit 1, 2, 3 as well, which I've just seen, which is excellent to see. Who knows, with strategy, we really could be up there on race day, but that is certainly that's the best lap I've done all season. That was an excellent lap.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. It's got to be a relief to qualify that far up the grid. Do you feel that you don't need to practice? Appreciate your time.
Yeah, like I say, people like... So, yeah, Andrew, if you're still watching, if you want me to play FIFA later, I'll do another live stream of that, if you want that. I'll leave a bit of time between this and the FIFA. I won't just go back to back.
I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance.
Now into race day, and chance potentially here for the first win since Azerbaijan earlier on in the season. What a beautiful track this is in Abu Dhabi to line up the end of the season.
Okay, let's finish the season with a strong effort.
Now, it's actually projected as a 2-stop, this race. I think if I were to do it, I would change it around a bit more to more like that. So let's. Because it also then means if the mediums aren't wearing that much, we can then just stay on the mediums till the end. Lights out and away we go here at Abu Dhabi. It's an excellent start on Lewis Hamilton. And then the second phase kind of just dies down a bit. Leclerc tries to send one down the inside. And we get a massive kick of oversteer coming down into turn 3. Now, into the quick chicane. That was a bit wide actually there. On heavy fuel. There's yellow flags in behind. I think that's just the cars all slowing down to get into the brake zone.
Let's build on it.
As it's George Russell who leads, Lewis Hamilton second, Devon Butler third. So it's just currently a Brit 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth is Charles Leclerc. Sixth, I believe, is it one of the Haas cars? I think it might be Magnussen. Bit wide into the fast right-hander. George Russell flying out up front. We actually set the purple final sector though, so it shows that we're very good in this first and second sector. But the third sector not so much. We come through, it's green, first sector that time. So we try and line up a move on Lewis Hamilton. Butler seems to be dropping back. He's got his own battles to deal with. So this has been an excellent start for us. I thought we would be dropping back into the clutches of people like Butler, Leclerc, Magnussen. But if anything, we're actually sticking with the guys in front. And we had a very good start, which probably helped that. We almost leapfrogged Hamilton into turn 1, so... Hamilton sets the fastest lap that time around. DRS is now enabled. And if Hamilton and Butler stop battling, we'll be there to pick up the pieces. That's for sure. It's not Butler even, it's Russell out front. Devon Butler's behind me. And he's under pressure from Charles Leclerc. So it seems to be at the minute Williams trying to overtake Toro Rosso, as it's important for their constructors title as well. They're ahead of Toro Rosso. As Leclerc, I do think got Butler in the end then.
Fuel is at target +3. Let's get into mix 3 ASAP.
We now seem to be dropping back from Hamilton and kind of staying steady to the gap behind us to people like Leclerc and Butler.
The gap to the car ahead is 3.2 seconds.
Yellow flags, and it's it's George Russell who's out of the race. The slow moving Toro Rosso, and he really hasn't chosen wisely his position to pull over. That does mean Lewis Hamilton now takes over the lead of the race, and it helps Williams constructors fight. George Russell is still going on, and it's a safety car.
Watch your delta. Make sure you keep it positive as we catch the pack. A new strategy is available on the MFD. Copy. Drop your speed. Our delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
It was always going to happen because he's continuing to go on under. Hamilton stays out. We're into the pits under safety car. Now, this hasn't played out in the past before. No one else has come in either. We are going to do a different strategy here. I think it's going to be soft, medium, medium then, instead of
We'll be
soft,
doing one more
medium,
stop today.
soft.
One stop left in our strategy.
Yeah, it's going to be. So we're going to change to soft, medium, medium. Drops us down to 16th, just behind Pierre Gasly. And this is a chance to potentially leapfrog Lewis Hamilton into the race lead here. As they're all now slowing down, coming down towards the chicane. I can't really see where Gasly is. There he is. And this is just a slow phase of the race where nothing is going on. Maybe a blessing in disguise that George Russell's engine blew down a straight. I've got a bit of cold blood against George Russell after he nicked my Toro Rosso seat, but shows that he's had quite a few engine failures actually recently, and maybe it was a good move leaving Toro Rosso. That car's reliability maybe isn't up there, as we do slightly tap the back there of we've been given a fight. Oh, for God's sake, why is that a penalty? If that's a penalty, I'm not going to be happy. So behind us we have Grosjean, so I'm assuming some of these guys have pitted as well. Grosjean, Weber, Verstappen, and there's someone else. So they're all trying to do what we're doing as well. I wonder whether... no, Gasly hasn't, he can't have done so. Plan is to get Gasly pretty much into turn 1 if we can. I mean, it's not it's probably the worst turn 1 on the calendar, to be honest. Maybe there with
Okay, let's get ready to go racing
I
again.
really know there's
The
not
safety
many.
car is in this
Maybe
lap.
Australia
When
turn
the field
1 isn't the
accelerates,
greatest of
remember,
places to it.
there
Of
is
course,
no
Monaco
overtaking
turn
until
1
the green
isn't great
flags.
either.
Safety car in this lap.
But all the other circuits have some kind of long straight leading into it, really. Suzuka turn 1, maybe? It's certain. I think it's the hardest turn 1 to overtake. Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi do, as they... Right. Right down to almost walking pace now, as Lewis Hamilton slows all the cars down. Which he can do, he controls the pace.
Okay, clear.
And we're back under racing now.
We're trailing our teammate by 2.6 seconds.
We aren't quite close enough to Gasly to make it into turn 1. What about into the left-hander? We all went for it on Kubica as well, that's kind of backfired. Oh, that was naughty of Pierre. And now we're going to try for the move on Kubica and Gasly. And that's worked out quite nicely. We didn't get any damage from hitting the back of Kubica, I don't think, there, thankfully. Next up is Giovinazzi. Really get that right into the chicane every time, it's so nice. Seems to be the section that we're fastest in, and if we can make a lunge on Giovinazzi. There's not really enough space to go around the outside there, unfortunately. You can make a move into the last corner sometimes. Giovinazzi blocks off the inside, and I don't know how he hasn't got a penalty for that, because that was incredibly rude. He's just shunted into the inside line. Now we're just really gaining. Send one down the inside of Giovinazzi. It's a bit of a lock up from him. Now we chase the Ferrari of Lance Stroll. Do we make a late lunge down into the left-hander? We go for it, and that's actually really nice. That's worked out beautifully. Stroll may come back at us, but no, he isn't actually. He's dropping back if anything. Just got the grip out the corners on these newer tyres. Softs are already going off. Hamilton hasn't really made a breakaway either. Devon Butler's sticking with him. And now the race to get back into the points is on, and we've set the fastest final sector, which is certainly going to help. We're so close to Hulkenberg then, I almost risk going around the outside. Bit too far back to make a lunge there. Hulkenberg gets a DRS on the car in front. Might have to send a lunge hit. On Hulkenberg we've hit Perez in front. And that was a slight misjudgment of our braking zone. I think Perez has got damage. I apologise, that was my fault. But at the end of the day, racing is racing. Next up is Bottas. So all these guys are holding each other up, which is kind of bringing me back into play, to be honest. get a better exit than Bottas. Can we go to the outside for turn 1 maybe? Lovely move. P9 flying through this field now, and we're doing all the possibilities we can of trying to win this Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Down the inside of Norris, that's another position. Next up is Sebastian Vettel and Kimi Raikkonen. And then I think there's the... Is that a Toro Rosso then? So Hamilton might have broken free a bit now. And we've hit the back of Vettel, so that's not gone to plan. Chance again on Vettel. He has dropped back a bit from Raikkonen this time. However, Vettel's straight line speed is much better than ours. Shunting him into these corners though. Asking him almost to do a bit faster pace. We have got the fuel to burn after that safety car, so we might as well use it. Do we do the move on what we did on Bottas? Wide entrance, better exit, a bit further back from when we were with
Check
Bottas this time.
for a new strategy option. Confirmed.
Closing in on Vettel, might do another one of these moves down into the chicane, because we can't get him with DRS, and that's the probably next best overtaking spot around this track. Are we close enough to Raikkonen to really trouble him? Not at the minute. Raikkonen might have a go at Devon Butler here. Yeah, we're going to do that again. That was awful. Oh dear, this racing quality has been poor this race. In terms of me trying to make dive bombs, it's not really gone to plan. Can we go around the outside of Devon Butler? What a move! Around the outside of Devon. And now Raikkonen is a bit more weaker because of his lack of DRS off the car in front, so we might be able to get him maybe even before the DRS, I don't know. We're just on such a charge in this race. It's been really good to see. These mediums have got so much pace. He's had a poor exit. We might even get him into turn 1, let alone the
teammate behind is 3.8 seconds.
chicane around the outside. Yep, got him. Next up is his teammate Ricciardo. Although we might have to just look temporarily backwards towards Raikkonen, as he will get the DRS coming down. Just going to temporarily let him go to then get him back, going down onto the second straight. If not there, then we'll just get him back later, and I think that will be happening. Can we get him down here into the left-hander side by side? Pushed him out wide. Raikkonen's still there on the outside. What a move. That was kind of untimed. He just got a poor exit out of the chicane, and I was like, we might as well. Don't want to lose any more time. It now being a section we're good at, we can pull away a bit more from Raikkonen. Although saying that, we've made a small mistake there. And a bit too much curve on the exit of the final corner now. In comes Lewis Hamilton into the pits. He will drop out right down behind us. He's miles behind. The only car ahead of us now is the Williams of Charles Leclerc. But I think most of the cars behind us haven't made their first pit stop of the race yet. Here comes Raikkonen. To be honest, I'm not massively bothered about this. He's got to pit at the end of this lap, I would imagine. His teammates just come in. Gonna try and fight it though. Coming down into the chicane. Can we chuck it in? Bit too deep. But we just get back on the track and say, Raikkonen, no, that's not gonna happen. George Russell's exit to the race has really benefited our upgrade, almost, if you could call it that. I don't really know what the correct word to say for that is.
Is in the pits.
Is Raikkonen in? Yes, he is. So we've got plenty of clear air. Leclerc is in as well, so we inherit the race lead. It'll be Grosjean who's temporarily up into second, but it will be Hamilton, I think, when all the pit stops are made. It's Grosjean then Weber at the minute. We've got another 3 or 4 laps on these tyres before we come in. It's saying at the minute we'll come out in P8, and to be honest, after a second pit stop, that's pretty good. And if we set some pretty good lap times in as well, that'll elevate that.
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
Grosjean is in. Magnussen set the fastest lap of the race. I think fastest lap is going to be outside of our capabilities today. Hamilton and Magnussen are both on mediums. Hamilton's 8.5 behind, so the gap there is clear to see. Saying if we pit at the minute, we'll come out in P5, so Hamilton will start to catch us at the end of this stint, but we're coming in pretty soon. I'm just going to play it safe. We've got the gap to Hamilton. We're not going to risk it with strategy now. We've done the bit we needed to do. Gap to Hamilton has decreased, but like I say, that was inevitable. I might go on to softs on the final stint. That's my only change I might make. Because let's think about it. 10 laps on softs is possible. Those guys have just done it, so. It is worrying now, though. It's making me think they are going to one stop. If I go into softs, of course, that drops me back to P5, like I say. Now, I will have the grip. Question is, will I have the speed? I would imagine 10 laps is enough to get back onto the podium if they were not to pit, but I think Hamilton and Magnussen are too fast this race. My ideal scenario would be Magnussen and Hamilton start battling.
We want to pit this lap, so push now.
Engineer has told me to pit this lap, so I'm going to pit this lap. Going to stick on softs and go till the end of the Grand Prix. Because those guys did 14 laps on softs. Will leave us weak on tyre wear at the end, though. It's my main problem, but we want to gain as many positions as we possibly can. We'll come out in 6th.
Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach, and make sure you don't speed.
Oh, look at that. Magnussen and Hamilton are now starting to battle as well. This couldn't have come at a better time for me. If we come into the pits to strap on some soft tyres, it's a risk, but I think it's a risk worth taking. The fact we pit so early in the race, I don't think these mediums are going to get to the end. So there go the two race leaders battling down a straight, and I think Magnussen may get him here. There goes Leclerc, there goes Ricciardo, there goes Raikkonen.
That was our last stop.
It's going to be tight between us and people like Vettel. And we're going to be out just behind Sebastian Vettel. Get the DRS early on. And who knows, we might be able to make the move straight away on Vettel here. Down into the braking zone, we thought about it, it's a bit too far back to be honest. If it was one of the midfielders I might have risked it a bit more. This is now our race in jeopardy if we bottle this. Down the inside of Vettel.
Good job, nice overtake.
Right, next up is Raikkonen. We need to do the overtakes now while our tyres are fresh. so then we could build a bit of a gap to the guys around us. Purple final sector, that's exactly what we
We're
need
leading our teammate by 7.2 seconds.
this lap as well. As we close in on Raikkonen. Purple first sector.
The gap to the car behind is 1.8 seconds.
DRS on Raikkonen. We're going to make it quite a straightforward move, I think. Move back to the racing line. Next up is Daniel Ricciardo. Raikkonen may have another stab at us though. He shut the door on him.
Our gap to the car in
It's the
front
purple
is
middle sector from us.
1.8 seconds.
And that was the sector we were slowest in. So that's really positive. Just lining everything up beautifully now. Just Ricciardo and Leclerc until we're on the podium. Cross the line, fastest lap by
That was the
2
fastest lap of the
seconds.
race. Keep this up.
My main issue with this battle is Ricciardo's very close to Leclerc, so we may have to do it into a place which is unusual to make it into. Who knows, might be able to get one of them here. Here goes Ricciardo on Leclerc. Robert Kubica's out, and there's a virtual safety car.
has been deployed.
What's going to happen
We need
here
to keep
between
a
the battle
positive delta
between
here.
those
Slow
two?
down,
Ricciardo
maintain a positive
takes it,
delta.
and this is not what I need. I can't have this. This is really going to slow me down.
Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace. VSC ending, we're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
Just end,
Green
for
flag.
God's sake. Round the outside of Leclerc, up into
Yellow flag.
P4. Next up's Ricciardo. We're not going to risk it on the Aussie here. He goes deep into the first part of the chicane. Going to go down the second straight with the extra bit of DRS that we have available to us. Down the inside, a bit wide again, but actually that seems to be the natural overtaking area that you've got to be in. Right, now we set our sights on Hamilton and Magnussen. 7 laps to go. Soft tyres that are 3 laps old. This could be it. They're going to be going till the end now, I would imagine.
Keep managing your tyres.
7.7 is the gap. Into turn 1. Gap at the end of the first sector, 7.7 still, so no time gain there. But I think it'll be the final sector where we gain the most time. That's the sector we're the fastest in. As long as Ricciardo hasn't snuck into our DRS as well, that would help. I'll tell you what, he has snuck into our DRS, the Aussie. And we might be battling for a podium rather than the win. Here comes Ricciardo. Down the inside again though, on the Aussie. Come on, good sector. Across the line, it's 7.6, so barely anything gained. And I think that unfortunately we're not going to gain enough to the guys in front. Gap 7.6 again, so it's a 10th in the final sector, but that's it. We're literally matching Hamilton's pace, and that's just the difference of the car as well as the tyres. And we've actually lost a lot of time in that middle sector.
Okay, gap ahead is 7.9 seconds.
So if we get it perfectly, we can knock 2/10 out of them in the first sector. But it's literally got to be perfect. It's not going to be enough. We've just dropped 7/10 in the middle sector, and I have no idea how to like stop that from happening. I'm in rich mix. It was a fairly good second sector, to be honest, from myself. Tyres feel good.
Gap to car in front is 8.2 seconds.
It's enough to take 2/10 out of them that lap. I can't do any more.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. This is your final lap. Final lap of the race. Gap to teammate behind is 22.7
That's the kind of
seconds.
final sector we really need to stop any threat from Daniel Ricciardo.
The gap to the car ahead is 8.0 seconds. There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
It's going to be Kevin Magnussen who wins this race to confirm that he's going to finish ahead of us, but we're going to finish ahead of Vettel. I think that's the more buzzing thing. By beating Sebastian Vettel in the championship, that is very impressive. He's in a car that's much faster. Round the final corner, we get our podium. First podium since, goodness me, first podium since
great work. It's been hard at times, but we've come through.
Probably Azerbaijan.
Brilliant stuff from Haas today. What a superb victory. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Without a doubt.
It does look weird to see Kevin Magnussen winning. And I think quite a lot of teams, sorry, Haas will be signing quite a lot of good drivers in the future. I think Magnussen, unfortunately, even though how good he has performed at the end of the season, I don't think he'll be staying at Haas. I think they're going to go for drivers, maybe like Verstappen, for example.
It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
Well, I have to give it to Lucas Weber. Cool, calm, collected, a very consistent
Like I say, we jump Sebastian Vettel,
It's time to check out the
beat him by 8
standings,
points.
where Williams have finally moved beyond the point of no return,
And we have jumped
and have
Red
taken
Bull
the
at the end as
constructors'
well. That's
title. They are Formula
good to
One
see.
world champions once again. There was
Williams
also a strong
have
showing
won
from
the
Mercedes
constructors.
team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend
Haas
of
were just
racing.
too good at the end
Thanks
of
to
the
everyone
season.
who
We would never have caught them.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. Everything went your way today. It looked like you had a really good strategy for the race. You're breaking all expectations. What's your secret? Do you have any comments about the collisions? Some excellent overtaking moves from your former teammate today. Great. Well, that's everything.
Let's see what happens in the driver market over the winter. But like I say, I imagine Max Verstappen will be leaving Red Bull because I think he's becoming. Oh my God! Are you kidding? They've not fired me, have they? Oh.
Nice
No?
job this season.
Oh,
You've been performing
I've not
well,
been
and
fired.
that's putting us in a strong negotiating position contract-wise. Plus, my 10%'s getting more valuable. So enjoy your break and keep up the good work next year.
Thanks. Yeah, we've discussed already. We will be staying at Mercedes. The development is starting to become more clear. Starts for a little bit more.
All right, the terms have been agreed. All that's left is to sign the paperwork. You'll be on this new deal from the next race weekend.
If it were me, this is probably what I'd invest in.
And that's all we can do on the durability side of things. Thankfully our engine is safe for next season. It's not going to be damaging. Actually, Azerbaijan we didn't finish. I don't know why I got into my head that we did well in Azerbaijan. The best finish of the season was actually in Bahrain. Then we had That was second. We didn't actually win this season, so I didn't know. We got 9th, 2nd, 5th, DNF at Azerbaijan. I'm trying to remember what happened there. Can't remember. I think we might have hit I think it might have been the castle section. 4th in Spain, 5th in Monaco, 6th in Canada, 6th in France. Shocking race in Austria. I remember that was awful. 5th in Silverstone, 8th in Germany, 4th in Hungary, 6th in Spa, first race for Mercedes. Then it was 11th in Italy, 6th, and then 2 consecutive 9ths before a 10th in Mexico, a 5th in United States, an 8th in Brazil, and a 3rd in Abu Dhabi. I promise you, Andrew, and whoever else that will be watching this going back through, this is it now. I'm not doing any more races this season. I think you might just be interested in seeing what drivers have gone where. The Australian Grand Prix will be coming out tomorrow, I would imagine. But yeah, thank you for sticking around. It has been a drag, but I hope it's been worth it.
Right, welcome back. It's going to be one heck of a season, I think. To be honest, I don't think we've done the best job maintaining our performance through this regulation change, though we're going to be playing a bit of catch-up this year. We're counting on you, but you've got the whole team behind you.
Alrighty then. Another year, another championship. I hope you're well rested. Well, as much as you can be for someone who has to spend half their life in the gym anyway. Let's get to it.
Have we done then? We climbed up the order. We have. Well, we have jumped Renault. We've not really done a lot more than that. Durability, we were kind of panicking towards the end to get that in. Actually, chassis-wise, we dropped off the pace. Aerodynamics were actually last, which is not good to see at all, actually. But no one's moved teams by the looks of it at all. Yeah, Hamilton stays at Mercedes. Haas have still got the same. Yeah, no one's moved teams. That's strange. But yeah, we're gonna have to be playing catch up, I think. That's could have gone better. Especially starting at Australia, which is just the worst track for but I will be ending it here, so well done for making it as far as you all have.